If you're the kind of person that loves big phones and want them to double as tablets, but you don't want to spend your money on two different devices, you might like this inexpensive option. Hey guys, John V from Phone Arena here. You're watching our video review of the Lenovo Phab Plus. Out of everything, the biggest attraction about this is its inexpensive price point, $300, and what you get with that is an unlocked dual SIM device. You have a premium metal unibody construction, pretty svelte, kind of a little bit wide on in the hand, but it still feels pretty nice. Good amount of substance, and it looks very similar to an iPhone 6 Plus, just because of the way they have the plastic antenna bands on top and bottom, and also how the screws flank the micro USB port. But still, it has that premium finish to it, which is great, and commands attention because of its size. The other thing that really jumps out at us is the screen. You have a ginormous 6.8-inch 1080p IPS LCD display, so a lot of real estate to work with, and offers some pretty good details, of course. Now, it has a 7200 Kelvin color temperature, so whites tend to exhibit a slightly colder tone, but we do like how the color reproduction is more on the punchy side. It really has a nice, colorful look to it. However, though, one of the biggest challenges, though, is its brightness output of only 255 nits, which makes it pretty unusable outdoors with the sun present. Well, it's nice to see that Lenovo offers a mostly stock Android 5.0.2 Lollipop experience. So with that, you're going to get the same basic set of functionality you get on any Android device, and you'll see Material Design's presence in many of the native applications. Now, they do offer this very useful and handy one-handed mode, which is enabled by drawing a letter C on the screen at any time. And what it does, it shrinks the interface to a thumb-friendly reaching size, so it's easier to interact with the device here. However, though, for being a tablet in a way, it lacks support for multi-users. It's powered by an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 615 chipset with 2 GB of RAM, which effectively makes it a mid-ranger, and it performs like any other mid-ranger we've come across recently. So it has a pretty good performance with basic things, so running apps should be no problem at all. It has enough finesse with that. The only side where it kind of struggles is on the graphics processing side. It just has some choppier frame rates, but for the most part, it offers reasonable performance. You can see that the speaker is placed on the back side towards the top side of the phone. Now, with the device, it offers support for Dolby Atmos audio, and what it does, it really brings videos and specific content to life with it. So when you're watching a video, it really has a broader dynamic range, so greater audio quality with it. However, though, when you look at the music player, it's kind of dated looking. It uses that older stock Android music player we saw prior to Google Play Music. But at least the audio quality is pretty pleasant. We're actually most disappointed with the terrible camera performance. You have a 13 megapixel rear camera with a dual LED flash, and around the front you have a 5 megapixel one. As far as the interface is concerned, you have some useful shooting modes, but no true manual modes, but it offers enough stuff for most people here. The biggest thing we have here is just its performance when the conditions are ideal. We're talking about outdoor sunny conditions where most phones generally excel the best. Now, details come out rather splotchy looking, and colors have a very colder tone to them. If you like an artificial look with HDR shots, you're going to like this one because you get that, but of course, you're going to get even softer details in the process. Now, the quality is worse under lower lighting conditions. You're going to get heavy noise and a lot of graininess with the shots, so it is rather disappointing when you try and use it in low light scenes. Now, with this 1080p video, the most frustrating thing about it, besides the soft details, is just the unpredictable focus it has. Like I said earlier, it's an unlocked dual SIM smartphone, but it doesn't offer support for the CDMA network, so you're not going to be able to use it with Sprint or Verizon. And even with the LTE support here for the GSM networks, it's in limited quantity. Now, luckily though, it has good call quality with the earpiece and the speakerphone. Voices, for the most part, have good dynamic range and are pretty audible. Now, for something with a pretty large footprint, we thought they'd be able to put in a slightly bigger battery, but what you have in here is a 3500 milliamp hour battery cell. And with that, it produces average results. You'll get more than a day of normal usage out of it. And in our battery benchmark test, it puts up a decent 6 hours and 41 minutes. But of course, it would have been better if they put in a larger capacity in there. Luckily, it only takes 188 minutes for it to fully charge, which isn't that bad. You're not going to find this through the normal retail channels here in the US. You're going to have to import it, but luckily, it has a nice $300 outright cost, which is pretty inexpensive. And for that, you get good value, especially considering it has a nice build quality to it, premium construction, and it's a dual SIM unlock device too. And top it up, you also have that mostly stock lollipop experience. The biggest thing you gotta ask yourself is whether or not you could tolerate the poor camera that's on here. If you can, then maybe it's an option, or if you don't plan on using that much, it might be a good thing considering it does nicely in combining both the smartphone and tablet form factors into one.